Oh my god, what is that? Big Keith giving up on Sevilla? Yes, I am, because lads, I have had enough. Enough. Before the season even got underway, we were off to a bad one, because Messi decided he'd had enough and decided to hang up the boots. The new striker we signed this season was Gabriel Betrame, and do you know what this means, lads? That means one more non-EU player. Come on.
You fucking idiot! What? You idiot!
It was Taylor Howard-Bellis who paid the price this time. He was loaned out to Lille, joining Carmona and Soler, who both signed there as well. Thomas Araujo arrived for defensive cover, with Nino and Pereira leaving after being out on loan last season because of the EU rule again. Carboni threw a bitch fit and left, and I signed Angelino to compete with Tavares for that left-back role. Ruel Walters came in on loan from the Arse, as well as Arda Güler from Madrid because he's just world-class in it. Correa left for Fenerbahce, who, by the way, scored a grand total of 0 goals last season.
Useless!
Kjærgaard came in from the mighty Villa for another striker option, and the big bucks were spent on Kenan Sildilla for £58 million to start alongside Nianzou at centre-half. Now it's time for the footy. Season started fine with a cool 2-0 over rivals Betis. Franco scored an absolute beauty and Lamar sealed the bag. And honestly, this Barcelona game, I nearly threw my PC out the window. In the very last minute, off our attack, they score. It's just so fucking frustrating, man, I swear to God. Ruel Walters decided to get himself sent off in a 3-1 win versus Vigo because we really needed someone else to be unavailable for play at the time when we were absolutely pegged by injuries. We lost to Granada, which really started to wind me up, and 2 stupid draws versus 2 teams we should have beaten, which was frustrating. Losing 1-0 to Valencia was literally exactly what I wanted. And we randomly just decided to be good at football against Almeria with 5 different players all getting on the score sheet to absolutely hammer them 5-0. We got FM'd to high fuck against Vallecano. We dragged ourselves to a pitiful draw against Sparta Rotterdam in the Europa League. And the final nail in the coffin was losing 2-1 to the bottom of the table Racing Santander, with Almada's equaliser being cancelled out by a Petquay brace. Who the fuck is Petquay? Now, you might wonder why I ended the series. Like, yeah, it's a bad run of form, but it's not the end of the world, you know what I mean? So, one of the main reasons was the La Liga registration. Honestly, it's such a fucking pain in the arse. I hate the non-EU rule so much. It basically says you can only have 3 people from outside of the EU play for your club, but it's just, it's so flawed. Like, I'll give you an example, right? I had Carboni registered, and for some reason, he's Argentinian, and he didn't count towards not a non-EU player. But like Betrame and Savio, they would count towards non-EU players, so I'd have to find a way of working around them. Speaking of Betrame, honestly, I'd swear to God this guy was so shit.
Useless!
I fully understand, give players time to bed in, but I don't think I've ever had a signing that has started so tragically. The only goal he scored was a penalty that I put him on in a game where he was getting a 6.2 rating to try and play him into form, and it just didn't work at all. I understand if players don't get the service if there's a tactical problem, but he had, honestly, 2 or 3 good highlights every single game and missed each one because he's just fucking awful. Like, I could go all day about betraying, but you'll probably get fed up, so I'll move on. The other reason was injuries. Now, I had a lot of injuries in other seasons that I just didn't really speak about, but it's nothing, honestly, like the start of this season. It's just ridiculous. For example, Angelino, who I signed, pretty much instantly got a crippling injury, was out for a while. He comes back from injury, he's playing in training, and he gets injured again for like 7 weeks. And that's just one example. Almada out for ages at the start of the season. Newerton got injured at the start of the season. Players like Savio, Nianzou and all that, they were dropping out in between. I had sub players off in games so many times. It was just, I just couldn't deal with it anymore. It's just getting too annoying for me. So, I mean, I've stopped the save now. I'll be real. I'll hold my hands up as well. I did a bad job in this save. I made some pretty shit transfers and made some weird tactics and could have done better. But these other stuff, they just got on my nerves too much. So I'm gonna call it quits for this one. I think I've actually got like quite a good idea in mind for what to do next, and I'll let you know on that one in a bit. But thank you for staying around, and I hope that you like invest in the next save that I do. So thank you again, and cheers.